So the time has come for you to start your YouTube channel. You know, it's 2026, the job market is in hell, all the ones that are left are just degrading. So you've made up your mind, you're starting content, and everyone feels like they can until it's time to actually get in front of a camera and a mic and make that magic happen. You quickly realize that there is no magic, all of your resources suck ass, and your brain turns to mush anytime you want to get work done. This very video might not even seem like much, but I'm just here to give you some insight as to what it takes to make something even slightly competent in the current YouTube landscape, much less something that you're actually proud of. For starters, it's impossible not to think about doing it for the money, and doing it for the money is exactly what fucks you. If you invested even $100 into this process, you're going to want to see some type of return on that. That is very natural, but it simply doesn't work like that. In my case, every resource that I looked at told me not to expect any type of traction until like 30, 40, or even 50 videos in. And I feel like all of that was it just being generous. So then you try to establish a system, right? Because the internet is based off algorithms and whatever is popular at the moment is what's going to float online. So naturally, you want to talk about the hottest topics. But the hottest topics are never what you're actually interested in because you've seen it so many times yourself. It's extremely difficult to generate this false energy for a topic that you know you don't actually care about. And if you ever observe these commentary channels, there's like a brief moment in every video where the facade just drops and you could see that they don't give a damn about anything that they're talking about for the last 30 minutes. And you know, to a certain extent, I get it. I mean, everybody has to pay the bills, right? You see what people are doing on the social media sites that aren't even paying them. So imagine what you're gonna do when money is actually at stake. If YouTube was like a completely free platform in the sense that the creators did not get paid, there would still be millions upon millions of people posting every day. But when you add the potential to get paid, it's only natural that it becomes corporatized in some fashion, in the sense that it's just another TV product, or worse, it's like a presentation you put together for work. You can't afford any mistakes. I mean, how many YouTube channels with maybe like one additional camera for like a multi-camera setup or something could be a competent TV product? There's no good reason why YouTube is only one step removed from the exact same things you see on TV. So if you're like me, you're seeing these extremely well thought out and highly edited, basically TV productions on YouTube, and you're like, wait, okay, I don't have the resources right now to do exactly that, but surely I can make something that will do well on this platform. And I'm definitely not here to tell you that that's impossible. Originally, I was going to say that you need to throw out the concept of being your own boss, but it's actually an extremely strict version of being your own boss, because now you need to govern yourself to continually do this process when there's no short-term gain at all. Could you imagine being told to like clean the carpet in your house, and there's this horrible stain sitting on the carpet that you spend maybe, I don't know, 3 hours cleaning, and then finally, after you clean it, it dawns on you that you have to clean the rest of the carpet. And then after you do that, when your parents get home, they tell you that the floor still looks like shit. That assessment could be accurate or it could be completely false. But at the end of the day, you're going to feel like you did absolutely nothing, regardless of how much effort and work you actually put in. It's funny because sometimes I get into this weird realm of searching up a topic that has absolutely nothing to do with my current life, like childbirth, for example. So when I'm searching up the topic on YouTube, I will watch the videos with a relatively low view count, like 400 to 500 views, because it's in those videos that, first of all, I'm seeing the highest of quality of production, but not only that, they're trying to tell you new facts or frame it in a different light so they can make their content unique. And I realize that that kind of content is way more unique than whatever is pushed on my homepage or whatever I see mostly. And sometimes I take a gander through these channels only to discover that they've been doing this for like 1 or 2 years and they've never even cracked 1,000 views on any of their videos. And they have the best cameras, the best quality mics, maybe they have a multicam setup, they have great lighting, and they're just not getting success. And I just contrast that to the stupidest shit that I see getting popular on YouTube alone. I'm not even on TikTok or Instagram, but on YouTube, I'm seeing things that I would never ever watch with like, it definitely has more than 1 million views, and things that I would never watch are on my homepage. Thank God the YouTube algorithm hasn't degraded so bad that it has ever suggested to me a Mr. Beast video, but I still somehow manage to get the dumbest things recommended to me. I don't understand it, quite frankly. So it's perfectly natural to feel completely dejected when you feel like you're making quality and it's just nonsense floating through the internet sphere. You have to do something that you're actually passionate about. Like I said, it's not impossible to make something that you don't actually care about, but it's gonna run out pretty quickly. I mean, even in the structuring of my YouTube channel, I have to think of constant ideas, more than 10 at a time, and then I have to trim that down into something that I could tell a story about, or I could actually relate to, or maybe I could add some facts from my personal experience or things that I've just researched in my own time. So if I were to come up with 10 ideas, maybe 3 of them, just titles by the way, just titles of videos I might watch. Maybe 3 of them would be good, and then out of those 3, they have to align with the previous videos on my channel because everything has to be themed. You can't actually make what you want. So maybe there would be one video that I could actually flesh out and make into a competent product. Ugh, I can't believe I just referred to it as the product. Personally, I hate when videos are referred to as content. I understand that it's filling up a platform and it's meant to be consumed, but content or the product just sounds so nasty. I listened to a podcast not too long ago that was trying to joke about how everything is corporatized and they started referring to it as the product. And that is just how I feel about most media. And if you feel like I'm jumping around a bit, you're gonna have to stick with me because I've decided I'm done with this formal essay speech that I bring to every video. I don't think that writing a formal script, at least not for what I'm trying to do here, is any way for me to make a YouTube video. I mentally forget the part of you in YouTube, the fact that it's supposed to come from my experiences and my actual passion and what I actually care about. And a lot of you probably feel that a creator is his best self or her best self when they just enter a yap session and then like every 2 to 3 minutes they come back to the initial topic and they get out the ideas that they had in their head. I actually find it easier, no joke, to give a speech to a crowd of people than I do this YouTube shit. And obviously, if I was giving a speech, I would still need some type of talking points written down, but how I make those talking points would drastically change the type of speech that I gave. For example, how I make a script can break me. If I make a full script, I would just end up reading it in this monotone voice, and I would just be talking at the people instead of embracing them. And off the cuff, especially, is like impossible for me because I would probably just enter like 20 different thousand tangents, and once you lose people, it's extremely hard to bring them back, as this platform of YouTube is very indicative of. All of that I just laid out, all of that is just the creative part. Now we have to get to the part that's going to make my brain explode, which is the fact that nothing fucking works how you expect it to. So you said fuck it. You bought that mic, or even worse, you bought that camera. And for some inexplicable reason, everything you look at and everything that you do sounds terrible. It's only at that point that you discover that there are minimum 500 different things that you need to do to make the product work. And of course, that's in addition to the things that you already knew you would have to figure out. It feels like I need a minimum of 100 hours to figure out all of the workarounds and shortcuts for something that I just expect to work after I actually purchase it. But you didn't account for the fact that you need to learn software too. Every YouTube video is going to make it seem like the simplest thing on the planet until you learn that they're leaving out the most crucial steps. How do you learn those crucial steps, you might ask? By scouring the depths of Reddit and finding that one random comment that fixes everything. Every list, and I mean every single list, seems to be missing something crucial to your knowledge about how to get these things to work. And with that said, do not by any means ask AI what you need to fully rely on. As I've talked about in a previous video, I have this nasty habit of relying on AI for quick or my foundation for a set of information, and that never works because it always seems to be grabbing from the most incomplete source on the planet, or just something that is completely unlike what I'm trying to do. For this video, and every other video on my channel up to this point, I have been using this Blue Yeti mic. This thing sucks, and I cannot for the life of me figure out how to make it sound good. If you just listened to my previous video, you've probably realized it might sound very different than this one. That is because in each one, I have been tweaking with it in this never-ending quest to make it sound good, because every video I watch on it tells me that it's possible. But that just brings me to my final point. You can quickly become obsessed with this, which could be a good thing, and it could be a bad thing. For good, you keep going even with no viewers. That is a test to your persistence, to your ability to continually learn, and your just overall willpower. So therefore, you're going to become dedicated to improving on each and every video and learning some new strategy or some new trick that can make something better than what you did previously. The bad though, if you're anything like me, you might not know exactly when to turn it off. Scheduling a video, in my experience, is arguably worse because now I'm just knowing that it's sitting there and I have to make it better before it goes up to the public, right? So maybe the thumbnail needs to be tweaked, or maybe I need to re-edit my entire audio again. Whatever satisfaction I had when I put the video up for scheduling, the amount of hours that passes through between that point just leaves a bunch of room for me to create all of these reasons it's not good enough. Not only that, but you need a dedicated space and a dedicated routine to consistently produce quality videos, and reality is that might not be available. I mean, you don't go from randomly working like a dead-end job to saying that, okay, this is the day that I pursue this YouTube channel if everything is going perfectly. You probably have a lot of things going on in your life, and you probably have a lot of different directions that you're being pulled in, but you need to have this dedicated strategy and this dedicated workspace that just simply might not be there. And the worst part of this, you're going to find yourself comparing what you produce to what other channels have been making. It's a terrible mistake. We mentally already know not to do it, and we still find ourselves doing it. Chances are, unless you were already flooded in cash, you're going to be starting with materials that aren't as good as these channels that have existed for 10 plus years. But in the same respect, you have enough knowledge to know that the average user doesn't care that you're just starting out. They want the best possible thing for them to watch, and it's your responsibility to make that. So obviously this video was extremely negative towards something that admittedly I'm having a lot of fun doing. The things that I'm putting together now are so much better than anything that I was trying years ago or even months ago. And I genuinely believe that there is a realistic path for my improvement. The only thing I know is that passion is going to have to be front and center when it comes to this, because that's the only reason that I'm going to find to consistently upgrade or spend more time learning about software, about thumbnails, about equalization and limiting and compressing, and just making the best possible video, not only in my eyes, but something that I know other people will enjoy and possibly learn from. So all I can really say is that when the passion dies, you can be damn sure that this channel will die. If anything I said resonated with you, please drop a like and tell me your adventure with trying to get your YouTube channel off the ground. I'll see y'all in the next one.